I don't think I have anything else from the last week.
Okay.
We have already talked about the last 2 things. This week I got 10 things.
Oh, let's go.
Oh yeah, it's been a week. All right, first thing, I guess I can just say it. I don't know if there's really any real reason to talk about it. We've talked about this multiple times. At work, stop wasting my time.
Yeah.
A 3-day training on old software that we already use is not necessary. No. I have nothing else after that. It's just straight bullshit to have a training for teachers about something that they use daily and act like this is a new thing, but not have a plan or an idea of how that software is going to be used in your school. So it's like you gave me a training, a general idea of, it's like teaching me about Office, but not telling me how we're going to use Office in our school.
Yeah.
Why did you give me a training on it, but you don't know what you're going to do with it? And then over the next year, try to figure out how it's being used and then make policies based on how it's used, not how it could be used to benefit your organization. It's a psycho way of thinking about, and it's so funny because that was the training after we had the mindfulness thing.
Yeah.
Really, people? So, it's a dumb thing to have. I mean, from what I understand, here in Mexico, CEP says when teachers have to go back to school. But the schools decide what the teachers are going to be doing when they come back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the CEP sets the calendar. If you look at your calendar, it says, all the calendars say that teachers come back on this day. Now, I don't know if all schools mandate their teachers to come, and probably in the public system, yes, they all go on that day, but that's the calendar that I saw that they're using at the school I'm
at. I
at.
was told this week, because I was asking why are we learning all the new CEP rules, which I sat in 3 days in meetings that were Spanish the entire time, which meant I spent 3 days doing practically nothing because they weren't translating anything. And when I would ask for the translation, they're like, oh, don't worry about it. Can you look up and see, we need Children's Day gifts for the kids, and we need Christmas gifts for the kids, and so I shopped. But from what I understood, even though they're an international school, they still have to follow the CEP rules for certain things. And even though they teach almost everything in English, they still have to we still have to follow CEP rules, which I thought was really strange because in Mexico City, the state of Mexico, English grades don't matter. Like they don't matter. They don't count. But for my school, because of the type of school it is, we have to submit all of that stuff. But what I was told was that the parents don't give 2 turds of a shit about the CEP grades. They only care about the school grades.
Because of this type of school.
Because of this type of school and how this particular school has branches all over the world. And if they have to transfer for work or they want to go to a different country, they take that transcript and then they go to the other country.
Okay.
So they don't care about CEP, but apparently there are things that we have to do specifically for the CEP stuff. I don't know any of it because it was all in Spanish. Apparently I do know a lot because I know a lot more than they expected me to know about CEP stuff because of our last school.
I don't know. I don't like the idea. I hate the wasting of time. I absolutely hate it. And I hate it when managers make decisions, whether they be owners, managers, it doesn't matter, but make decisions about my time that makes me less productive. I don't like that they use that like I can tell you what to do, but I'm telling you to do something that makes no sense.
Yeah.
I've never been on board with that. The only places that I've ever seen where managers did not do that, where it was in jobs like fast food or department stores or whatever, because they knew that they could not have people sitting around doing nothing. You know, like at my school, we had people coming in with their laptops because they knew they were going to be doing nothing for such long periods that they wanted to bring things to watch and things to do. It's like, no, you shouldn't. If you don't have anything to do, why the hell are you there? If you've already taken care of your room, you've gotten all the stuff you're going to have, nobody has anything new for you to do, like new information to give you, new stuff for you to do for, you know, to make it better for you to do the job that they're asking you to do.
Right.
If they don't have any of that stuff, why did they make you come in? Why are you here? Why are you here turning on lights, going to the bathroom, getting coffee, walking around? Why are you here? And I don't understand why they do that when they could just say, okay, in this week, we're going to give you all of your policies and procedures for our school. Okay? Old people, you only need to come to this bits because you already know all of this stuff from last year. These are going to be the changes for this year. Give you all that stuff and then say, okay, now you have the next 2 weeks to come and go as you see fit to do your classroom and get prepared, because you now have all of the details to make those decisions in your classroom about what you're going to be doing this year. Done.
Yep.
I don't need you here. I need you to come in and be done by this day. Now, on these days, we will be meeting parents, so you need to come in and blah, 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 blah. When we're done with that, there is no reason to hold you to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. You're done. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, where is the good manager in education? Where's the one that says, there's no reason for you to be here, leave, get out? You know, because you could be researching, getting more information, working on resources, cutting paper. You could be doing all kinds of other stuff that you don't have available in your classroom.
Right.
Don't tell me that there's a place where you can go to go buy materials for your classroom, but then not allow me to go buy the materials for my classroom during the workday and expect me to do it on my weekend.
Yep.
You know, it's like, no. Well, if I'm doing things for work, then I'm going to do it while working. I'm not going to do it outside of work and expect me to foot the bill for all of these materials because your school doesn't provide them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and that's what I keep hearing is, oh, this person bought all of that stuff. It's like, what does the school provide? Paper. The school provides paper and the sticky text stuff. That's what they provide.
They don't
it's
provide
like,
you with whiteboard markers or...
Oh, they provide whiteboard markers, yeah. But I'm saying to decorate your classroom. You know, to do the stuff in your the school doesn't. Tables, chairs, whiteboard, and brick walls.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't even get a desk or a chair appropriate for a person working at a desk. I get a student chair and a student table and a shelf. That's what I have for me in my classroom. But I'm sitting there. I don't have a lot of stuff to put up because I tend to think that student stuff should go up, not me dressing a room for no reason. But I don't understand why they made people who last week they finished their rooms, they had a training that made no sense for 3 days, and then they had trainings in the previous week that made no sense. We still don't know our policies and procedures for this school yet. We still don't have any of that information. So it's like, I don't even know what is right and wrong to do I don't know what to do when I come into work in the morning. I just walk in and I sign in like a guest. I have no badge. I have nothing that tells me I'm working there. Like, to identify myself as a teacher.
Do any of the other teachers have a badge?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I mean, if they worked there last year, they probably have whatever they had last year, but I'm assuming that they give them something new every year. I'm making that assumption. I have no idea. I don't know. I've never seen nobody is walking around with it. So I don't know what they may or may not have. But my problem is stop wasting employees' time and stop making them less efficient than they could be.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, she's new this year as well, and her classroom, it was a hot damn mess when she got in, and she's trying to find the things that she needs. And when she went to her cupboards, it literally just looked like someone just threw everything in there. So she's going through all of the stuff, and her room looks like a bomb went off. And yesterday, we're sitting in these meetings in the morning, and then we go and have lunch, and then we have to go back to another meeting for the rest of the afternoon. And all she wants to do is work on her classroom, because that's the most important part. We have parents coming in a week, and we still have more trainings to go to, and she's running out of time. And she was so stressed out over sitting in these meetings when she knew she had all this other stuff to do, and none of this stuff was relevant to her, really, that she was on the verge of tears.
Like I said, this is a management issue. My number 1 was stop wasting my time. My number 7 is, why is bad management so prevalent? Why have people come to work for nothing for them to do? Why bring people to work but not give them what they need in order to be productive? Why is time wasting a management priority?
I don't have that problem because the stuff.
Is this just Mexico?
No, it's not just Mexico.
Exactly.
It's not.
But it is a symptom of bad management.
We've been in 3 countries now, and we've done it. We've lived in 6 different cities and at least 6 different schools. It's what they do.
Yes, but
I want to know
why is it that employees allow it?
Why do they get who sends out this memo to say this is how you manage and this is what you should do?
Well, I would say that most of the people that are doing the management did not go to school for management. If they're in education, they didn't know. But you were a manager. It's not the same thing. These are people, if they're in education, they didn't go to school for business.
Yeah.
They didn't go to school for business management. But we're asking them to have business management norms inside of schools that these people were just former teachers. They didn't go to school for business management because we don't have necessarily business management in K through 12. Now, those people that are managers that are in the university level, they should be better because some of them did go to school for business management.
Yeah.
But probably they're all stuck in business schools. They're not in, say, the biology.
Now, I had already been a manager by this time, but when I studied early childhood, part of my studies was management. Like, they taught us to manage a preschool, a child development center, not only the financials, but the people, the parents, the staff, the children.
But that was your particular program.
Yeah, that was my program. And so when I see some of these things, like I had a mom say, oh, the parents are really scary. And I'm like, I'm never afraid of parents.
I don't know why.
But it's not my job to be afraid of parents. And this week I said it several times because the parents or the other teachers were like, some of these parents can be really scary. They're helicopter moms and they're,
bring your ass in the classroom.
And I'm like, so?
Bring it on, lady.
And in my school, they want parents to participate in the classroom.
Come on in.
They want them to be a part of the daily life of the school. And I was just like, oh my God, music to my ears. Bring them in. I want them to see.
Sit next to your son.
I want them to participate. I want them to see what's happening in the classroom. So when they say, why isn't my son blah, blah, blah? Well, you see how he behaves in the classroom.
Oh,
you see what's going on.
You were there. You knew. And you didn't say anything.
So this is why. You see it. But I also want parents to know that we are not on opposing teams. And that's what I keep telling these teachers. And when I said that in a meeting, parents aren't scary. They're my teammates. They're just as important as my co-teachers because they are my co-teachers. And that was when the principal was like, yes, that's exactly that. And I was like, how is this not said every year?
Yeah, but
to every staff.
You're talking about a culture in the school as opposed to the manager, the person understanding how to manage people in a school. And
Yes, but
most
that
people
should be-
don't
no.
do that.
Yeah.
Most teachers never learn how to manage teachers.
Nope.
They don't. They learn how to manage children.
Yep, and then they
at various age levels.
raising your hand in a meeting to be silent, or if you can hear me, touch your chin. If you can hear
Yeah,
me,
see all that elementary
I'm
school
a
bullshit for adults.
fucking adult.
That's
All you have
that's
to
just not
say
knowing your
is-
audience.
Right. But all of the teachers participate. And I'm just thinking, you are grown ass people.
Yes, but that's
Why are they managing them like 4-year-olds?
because that's to them is modeling the behavior they want to see in their school. They think of it as modeling. It's like, no, you're talking to an adult. So like, for example, a good example of this is at my school, we were supposed to do this last week and we never got to it apparently. But we were supposed to run through some things that we were going to do for the first couple of days with our students to share the ideas across the English teachers so that then maybe if somebody has a good idea, maybe you pull that, you use it or
Right.
whatever. When I explain what I'm going to do, I'm not going to explain it like, I'm not going to do it and make them do it like they're students.
No,
When
they're
I talk to
teachers.
teachers, I'm going to say, okay, so as at the beginning, the first 5 minutes to get them ready for this activity, I'm going to do X. And then once we do that, and my explanation is only going to take about 5 to 10 minutes to explain what I plan to do. I'm not going to execute the plan with adults in order for them to understand what my plan is, because that's not how teachers should talk to teachers.
And teachers should be smart enough to say, excuse me, I don't understand. Could
Right.
you explain this part
Right.
a little
Yeah,
bit better?
I need more details, like how you're going to implement this and what are you going to do about Johnny who doesn't want to participate. And you're talking about it at a higher level. You're not executing it for them to get them to understand it. That kind of thing is what you do for your students when you're teaching a lesson, not a thing that you do for other adults that are teachers.
Now, I will say that
I
in
just
our-
don't ever. When I taught teachers, I didn't do that.
No.
I taught them. I talked to them as adults, as people who have degrees in many different aspects. Why would you talk to them like they're 4-year-olds?
Right.
Because you're talking about a lesson for 4-year-olds. No.
Well, and that's one of the things I can say from our meeting yesterday. We did that very thing. We were talking about what were we going to do for the meeting of the parents and the welcoming of the new children and blah blah blah, and how would we implement these things in the classroom. It was done very professionally. It was in front of the whole room. Like if you had an idea, you shared it, and everybody was like, "Yes, I want to do this," or "How would you do that?" It was very adult, which is not common. So that was kind of nice that I didn't have to sit there looking at these adults playing 2 or 3-year-olds, you know. But I've already seen a difference in the management style here versus everywhere else we've been. Yeah, some of the things are the same, the raising of the hand and whatever. But for the most part, this management style is really different, but all of the managers so far have not been American either. So I'm sure there will be some of that.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, like I said, part of that is the culture of the school. I mean, if the culture of the school says you can't be X, then they may never be that way.
Right.
Quiet the voices. All right, I got nothing else. You got anything else?
No?
All right, we're right on time. Ooh, right on time. All right, so if you want to find the Traveling Farrs, you can find us on the YouTube, the Facebook, the Pinterest, the iTunes, the Spotify, and the Google Podcast at The Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitter, we are Traveling Farrs. If you like email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. I think we need to do shout outs to the different countries that download our podcast. We should do a shout out. I have to figure out what they are, but they're kind of there's some people out there listening to us from interesting places. The further I am away, the longer the camera will last.
Jeez Louise.
Right?
No, you're very handsome.
Think about other people.
Bye, people.